Okay, this is continuing our little bits of encouragement to make learning fun. And it's geared mainly for parents who have children from birth to 5 years of age, and that's not the end of it. But if you do a strong job there, they'll survive in the public schools. Now, that's not saying a whole lot, but they will get more out of it, and they'll get more out of life, and if they start reading early, they're more apt to be lifelong, not just lifelong readers, but lifelong learners. Now, I'm going to be blowing my own horn. I'm 83. I haven't taught I retired in 1990, so you do the math. So everything that I did in the classroom was based on this assumption. You never reach the ultimate in teaching methods. Otherwise, we'd be educating everybody on the same level, and they'd all be just really brilliant. But what we do is do the best we can. And no matter what method you're using now, it can be improved on. So I'm going to be hitting on some things that I hope will be beneficial to you. Now, repetition and pre-exposure. You're going to hear that a lot. Pre-exposure. A child doesn't learn anything that he hasn't been pre-exposed to. That's a truism, but I don't think people think of it. They give the child in the third grade a book that they haven't had any experience with, and they start in, and it's all just a bunch of, because they haven't had any background on it. If they had had maps in the walls at home, if they'd had been read to, if they'd heard stories about things that they're going to be learning, it would provide the hooks that are necessary for them to grasp what is coming their way. Now remember, the teacher has 30 kids in the class, and half of them may not even know what they're listening to. They don't have the vocabulary to understand it. Now I know I'm being negative, but the public schools, if I'm saying anything that's out of sorts, let them explain how far off I am. Okay? Now, I'm going to show a few pictures, and I'm going to make it just kind of short, but this is one of the ways that I tried to make it fun for our kids in the classroom. This is a robot that I made. It had a camera, had a television screen, and I taught them lessons with a wireless mic. So we were taping what I was talking about, and then we had it on tape, and the children had an opportunity to listen to it again. And the robot would ask them questions, and they would answer them, and they would be on the video. And then the biggest excitement that they got out of this was watching it over again. Well, there's your repetition. So you have cell phones. You have all kinds of opportunities to repeat. You can create your own educational tapes, and we're going to get into that a little later. But getting things up on the walls and so on, having things that they bump into. If you have a child that has maps on the wall, words on the walls, colors on the walls, the alphabet on the walls, they know their ABC songs, and they know a lot of songs that relate to nursery rhymes, songs, rhythms that are fun, learning how to dance, learning how to do all these things. You cannot just concentrate on the academic. You have to move in on the physical. Now, one of the things that I'm famous for is digressing all over the place. But I hope that the digressions will, in your mind, relate to your whole child, the whole child. We're not just teaching the brain, we're not just teaching the body. We're teaching the brain, the body, and we could go on there and get into some philosophy and so on, which I hope you might do with your children. Okay, I think that covers this.